And the Detroit Lions have made some moves the moment I get back. And that's why I'm on my cell phone doing this, because I'm not at my house as of yet. But the Detroit Lions have signed edge rusher Marcus Davenport, longtime New Orleans Saint. Yeah. And it's a great move for depth-wise. That I must say. It's very good right there. The Detroit Lions are trying to get some pass rushers, formerly the Minnesota Vikings, but predominantly he was with the New Orleans Saints. Well, what is up, Glitter, and welcome to this bad boy. So I don't have time really to edit a video or anything like that, but I want to get on here and talk some Detroit Lions while I can and have the moment. So the Detroit Lions traded for cornerback Carlton Davis of the football team. Sorry, I got a distraction that's happened to me right next to me. Very difficult to keep a straight face. But we got two new players, and I'm sure moves are going to continue to happen while I just got back, literally on my cell phone. So Carlton Davis trade. Yes, the Detroit Lions got the cornerback. Now, it's not L'Jarius Sneed, who we thought the Detroit Lions may trade for. But you know how it works. There's trade rumors. Instantly, the Lions go get a different player, but of the same position, and it's great news. So, Carlton Davis goes in, becomes a cornerback for our Detroit Lions, and doing great. Not my wife, but yeah, definitely messing with me a little bit right now, for sure. But again, let's get into this bad boy about Marcus Davenport. And then if something happens while we're live, then something happens while we're live. I don't have anything up. I'm literally on my cell phone, so for sure. So Marcus Davenport, to me, it's not the biggest thing for the Detroit Lions. Like, this is not the number one signing. Marcus Davenport's going to be an edge rusher that is kind of like where you had, right? Like a Charles Harris type of individual or a Romeo Okwara. He's going to be a player who is going to be a piece upon that defensive line. He's not going to be the bookend guy. But look, he's a veteran. He understands Aaron Glenn. He understands Dan Campbell. Been part of the organization for some time for the New Orleans Saints. And he's going to be a nice piece for sure. Injury prone. Yes, the injuries are the issue. And remember, we signed Emmanuel Mosley to a one-year deal. And now we're getting Marcus Davenport as well. Carlton Davis, again, the Detroit Lions made a trade. I did not see the compensation for the trade, so if anybody has that, throw that in the chat right now. Literally, I'm doing this off the whim of my cell phone because I literally just walked in the house. So, yeah, definitely trust in Brad Holmes, folks. We got to trust in Brad Holmes and his ability to acquire talent. I've been saying it's not going to be the biggest moves in the world, but it's going to be pieces to what we need to get done. So that is what they're doing right here. Davis is healthy for off-season programs. Look, that's good, right? You're healthy for the off-season program. The Davenport signing is all right, just injury-prone for sure. Third-round pick. We gave up a third-round pick for Carlton Davis. Look, they wanted to get a number one corner, folks. And if you look into free agency, there's not that great. Like we talked about Kendall Fuller. Okay. But is he the best cornerback in the world? No. They would what we've been saying, we'd probably have to trade for it or you have to draft a guy. So look, we got a good cornerback. Lions received Carlton Davis and a 6th-round pick and a 2025 5th-round pick. And that's just the way it is. He will be our number one right now. He's going to be our number one right now until we draft a guy. So don't expect the Lions to be done at the cornerback position at all. They're going to draft the future corner for this team. I've been saying this for some time. That's what they're going to do. The future corner of this football team, our number one stud, will be in the draft who we draft. So if you're like, oh, Carlton Davis is not the greatest cornerback in the world, well, of course not. We're going to have to draft that guy. There's just, when it comes to free agency, some positions are lackluster, and the cornerback position, in my opinion, were lackluster. That's why you're hearing trade rumors. That's just the way it is. I want to wait. Niggins, what's up with Hunter? 4 teams currently in contract discussions with Danielle Hunter, one of those being the Detroit Lions. Smash that like button, folks. Right now, we got 24 likes with 335 in the building listening to this. Smash that like button. It does help out. Sorry, I don't have the ability right now to make a video. That's why we are live doing this. Again, I was live on the Huge Show for 3 hours. Check that out. I'll be live tomorrow on the Huge Show for 3 hours during free agency period. So if you want live minute-to-minute update, I will be on the Huge Show. Lions Fan Syndicate $1.99 Super Chat says, hold up, let Brad Holmes cook. Absolutely. Great super chat right there. Thank you so much, Lions Fan Syndicate, for doing that. 100%. You got to trust Brad Holmes and his ability to acquire talent, and I have no problem with the way that they're operating right now. And if you look at Christian Wilkins, I know a lot of people were upset that we didn't sign him and he went to the Raiders. The Lions cannot give up $25 million to a defensive tackle. When you have a Lee McNeil, you got to extend it at some point. Just can't do it. And so I'm not upset at the money right there for sure. That is not money that we can get into. No way we can get Carlton Davis for a third-round pick. What a steal. Yeah, look, he's going to come in here and he's going to make this secondary much, much improved. Much improved. You going from Jerry Jacobs to Vildor to Carlton Davis. That's an improvement for sure. And again, they're not done. The rest will be in the draft. You want to get that number one corner? You're going to have to wait for that draft. And we've been saying this, and that's the best way to operate, folks, because you're not going to be able to – look, Kendall Fuller's not going to come in here, right, and be a number one guy. You're going to have to trade for it, and then you're going to have to draft a guy. That's the whole philosophy. Nice hair. Appreciate it right there. Nice hair. And I'm totally uncut, man. I'm literally sitting on a bed doing this at my lady's house. So Carlton Davis can play some good press man. Yes, he can play some good press men, and that's going to help out. Anthony says, I'm happy we didn't get Gilmore. Look, he's 33 years old. I think he would have been okay, but I'm not in the idea of getting older, extremely older. Third round pick for a 1-year rental would be good if we can resign him. Kenny Moore is who I want, and someone says, as a Bucs fan, sad to see Carlton go, big corner and physical. And remember, we played against them in the playoffs, and he is big and physical, and that's something that we had to deal with. So it's one of those days. You've probably seen him during the game and is doing his stuff, and Brad Holmes kept a keen eye on him, and that's usually the way it sometimes operates. Marcus Davenport, again, I'm going to get into it like we just talked about. He is not the end-all be-all edge rusher. If you're wanting to get a bookend, he's not going to be that guy. He's a situational pass rusher, injury-prone. Just keep that in mind. He's not the every down guy, and I think that's very important for everybody to understand. Carlton Davis is it's going to be interesting because they get a Carlton Davis. You have a Brian Branch at the nickel. Then you have Cam Sutton who's out there. So if the Lions draft a guy, could Cam Sutton, he signed a 3-year deal. He'll be for the Detroit Lions this year, but after that I can see them cutting him. So yes, you're going to have Cam Sutton this year. He's going to be a corner. You have Carlton Davis. He's going to be a corner. You're going to have Brian Branch out there, a nickel as well. Then I fully expect them to draft a guy. Still holding out for Hunter. Yes, again, Hunter is in discussions with 4 teams about a contract, one being the Detroit Lions. Okay, so yes, hold out hope. And again, some of these guys, like a Danielle Hunter, are waiting for the right situation and everything. So some of these free agents, they're picky, and I always say this every free agent period, just because you didn't sign a guy like the Bears did with DeAndre Swift right when noon hits, or sign a Kirk Cousins like the Atlanta Falcons doesn't mean anything, just means they got first. So let's go ahead and discuss these moves really quick. By the way, DeAndre Swift is a Chicago Bear, 3-year deal. I think it was $24 million over 3 years. We get to see Swift again. Now, I think that's actually a bad move for Chicago. Not the player, but the money. Because he's 27 years old. Do you think that Swift is going to be available, good to go in 3 years? Probably not. I think it's a little bit overpaid. Kirk Cousins gone from the NFC North. That's a huge deal. That's a big deal for the Detroit Lions. Likely, we're going to see 2 rookie cornerbacks in the NFC North, one at the Vikings and one with the Chicago Bears. That immediately makes Detroit Lions and Green Bay the favorites at this point, in my opinion. As much as these rookies, they can turn out to be great year one, I don't fully expect them to be a C.J. Stroud. We'll put it right there. Too much money to underachiever. Swift, I agree. Carlton Davis, healthy, is a CB1. Well, he's going to be CB1 this year, and the Lions going to draft a guy. So I think the Lions secondary is going to look really promising after the NFL draft for years to come. Very, very good. Where will Justin go? Justin Fields. Well, there's been rumors that the Raiders are in talks with the Chicago Bears. That could be a trade destination for him. We all know sometimes teams out of nowhere can do something as well. Maybe like the Giants, who are terrible. So Brad signed 2 often injured players. Lisa, we know this. Lisa DeLorenzo. That's what Brad Holmes does. Hopefully it works out. Carlton Davis, I have much more hope than Marcus Davenport. Marcus Davenport's a lot older, and generally speaking, when you're dealing with players that are really old, the injuries kind of tend to linger a little bit more, for sure. So I'm going to answer some questions from you guys. Throw it in if something breaks while we're live, it breaks while we're live, and that's awesome. So we got Fields to the Vikings would be crazy. I don't see that at all happening. No way. What's up, Adam Jones? Finally, we get a better corner than Cam Sutton. Absolutely. 100 correct. If Davis is our move to address the secondary, do we think offensive guard or edge at 29? No, I must still say it's BPA. If the best player available is a cornerback, best believe they're going to draft a cornerback. Remember, they were in the Devin Witherspoon sweepstakes last year. He just got taken before Detroit got him. And I believe if he would have been there, they probably would have taken him. So if there's a Kool-Aid there, is there the Toledo torpedo there? If corner falls to 29, best believe they may do it. Or, just like this, Jonah Jackson is a Ram. He's gone. Jonah Jackson signed with the Los Angeles Rams. The Detroit Lions could go guard, and I fully expect the Lions get a guard in the first 3 rounds now. We got 1 third-round pick left, as we just traded for Carlton Davis. So we got 1, 2, and 3, and the Detroit Lions can get a guard in those positions. Then you got your guard over Jonah Jackson. So it's for. Do you think that we're going to make another big move? I'm waiting on Danielle Hunter. I'm waiting on it. I've been saying this all off season, and he's in talks with the Lions with 3 other teams though. So it's not a guaranteed or anything like that. But that's the move that your boy Micro Mike has been waiting on. Is to get better at that position, that edge position. Marcus Davenport does not end that position. Remember, Charles Harris, Romeo Okwara, and Julian Okwara are not going to be on this team, so they had to get other edge situational pass rushers, and that's what he's going to be. That's what he's going to be. Davenport is broken. That's one thing. I don't expect them to fully be on, using him as the edge number 2 or wherever. So again, he's a situational guy. He's beat up. His body's old. He is an injury-prone individual. Rumors, Lions are interested in DJ Reader. I heard that, or I seen that right before I went live, and that's interesting. That's interesting. But remember, we're rumored to be interested with Christian Wilkins. He didn't sign with the Lions. There's going to be a lot of names passed around, and we just got to wait to see what the Lions do. And that's why you got to hit that notification bell, because I may be going live, making a video again today. If best believe I'm coming right back on here with sharing it with you guys as we talk about this free agency period. This was huge. I can't see it. Let's see. Atlanta, Brandon, what do you mean? Oh, talking about each other. Carlton, any good? Yeah, he's good. He's a big physical corner from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And when healthy, he can be a number 1. The problem is there's a little bit of injury there. That's the risk that you take. But guess what? The Detroit Lions are not done at corner, in which they can easily get a corner in the draft. And then you're talking about this. Now, I don't know if it's going to work out with injuries, right? You got Emmanuel Mosley injured, but he is, when healthy, he's good. Carlton Davis, good when healthy. If these guys can stay healthy and then the Lions draft a corner, we're talking about our secondary is a million times better than what it has been it's probably since 2014. It's been a bit since we've had a decent secondary. It's been so bad. So bad. Do you think that we'll actually sign Hunter? 25%. He's talking to 4 teams. 25%. I'll give it right there, but it's a shot. Are we out the Snead trade? Yes, we're out the Snead trade. Trading for Davis ends that. Brian Burns going to the Giants. Interesting. If that is true, let me know what the numbers are for that one. Well, you could say that Jonah Jackson was in your too much. Look what he got, a big contract. No, Jonah did what is best for him. He wanted to get a big contract, and The guards were going crazy in free agency. I fully expected him to get a gigantic contract, but not from the Detroit Lions. We can draft a guard, folks. That's the whole point is this draft is we're going to lose a free agent. Well, guess what? Then we just draft the replacement. Jonah, we just draft his replacement. Don't know the 4 teams. Couldn't tell you, but I know Detroit Lions are one of those teams. Yes, Brian Burns just went to the Giants. Okay, what is the comp and everything? I want to know that because I can't look at them on my cell phone right now. Should the Lions trade to get Mac now? No, absolutely not. There's no need to make a move right now to trade for an edge rusher when there's edge rushers available to get. Trade when it comes. Corner, I'm fine with because there was a lackluster of corner in free agency. It wasn't that great. When it comes to edge, it's much different. Much different. Because the edge position is filled with edges in free agency, and you can get some in the draft. Brian Burns, 5 years, $150 million. Good deal for Brian Burns. Bad deal for the Carolina Panthers. They could have traded this guy a year ago for two firsts and a third. What is up, Matt? Welcome. Davis is the guy. Craig Reynolds lit up. So, yeah, man, it's awesome. I'm happy. What would you trade for 2 or just promote JMO? JMO is our number 2 wide receiver. We're not going to trade for a wide receiver, okay? If we get a wide receiver, it's to replace Josh Reynolds, Donovan Peoples-Jones. Detroit gave up one of their 2 third-round picks for Davis, and yep, 100%. And guess what? Good trade. I like it. What about they're not going to do Snead. I don't see it happening anymore after making the trade right now. I don't see it happening. Let's get to 100 likes, folks. 16 minutes into the stream. Smash that like button. Let's get to 100 likes. 30 million a year for 5 years. Okay. The hang up with Hunter is his agent wants more than the Lions are 8. Yeah, and that's why you got to be cautious. Breaking news: the New York Jets signed wide receiver Spider-Man for a 3-year, $46 million deal. So Spider-Man's going to the Giants. I hate our moves. Another over. Why? We went to the NFC Championship game last year. Brad Holmes knows how to assemble a team. Free agency is not meant to be the number 1 move, okay? That is the NFL draft, folks. The NFL draft is where we're going to get our studs. They may get 1 stud in free agency, and that's about it. That could be the Carlton Davis move, right? The free agency period is not, we're not meant to be winners in March in free agency. That's not how you win. It's the draft. We have to focus. Free agency is supplement, folks. I keep preaching this, and I'm never going to stop it. It is the NFL draft. Free agency is awesome, and it's great to make videos, and it's great to talk to you guys at acquiring talent. But make no mistake about it, it's the draft. It is the draft. You sign Metallica, please. I'd love to sign Metallica. NFL is not saying the trade details for the Burns. Yeah, I'm going to assume it's probably a first-round pick and something else. Spot on, win through the draft. Absolutely, folks. It's supplemental. I am fine with these. I like the fact that they're going to double up on corner. They made the trade, and they're going to get one in the draft, and they're probably going to do the same thing with edge. And the reason they didn't sign a Wilkins, right? This defensive tackle that just got paid buku money for the Las Vegas Raiders is because there's a plethora of defensive tackle talent in this draft as well. Save a lot of money. There's no way they could have been interested in Christian Wilkins, but they're not going to pay this guy $25 million, and that would have been a terrible decision because you'll probably lose a Lee McNeil or somebody else if you do something like that. Let's see. Davis has size. We have no other cornerbacks. Yeah, I'm fine with it. Fine with the move. Fine with the move. Say Ben for $100. Let's see. Mike, you're the best in the business. Lions Kool-Aid, thank you so much, man. Truly do appreciate it. We got 500 people in the chat, apparently, and I just hit live with 0 anything. So, shout out to the Detroit Lions for getting some moves right now on this free agent Monday. We got some moves. If we trade a first and a fourth for Lattimore, I don't believe we're going to make any more trades for corners right now. Now, I could be completely mistaken. But I do not believe we're going to make a trade now for a corner unless, a team is just basically want to give it up. But with having Carlton Davis, Emmanuel Mosley, Cam Sutton, and Brian Burns kind of in the nickel, I only see really room for a guy whom they're going to draft. Really, I do. I think that's really about it there. We need to get edge. Dern just came in here and said, yes, we got Marcus Davenport. Okay, but we need to get our bookend, and that's what we're waiting on right now. Danielle Hunter breaking, according to Adam Schefter, Danielle Hunter to the Lions for a first. Well, first off, Danielle Hunter is a free agent, so we're not going to be trading anything for him. So that's incorrect. You don't have to trade anything for free agents. You just sign them. And I got to tell you what, the Minnesota Vikings, they did a good job by getting Greenard from the Texans. So they removed. So Hunter's not going to be back there, but they got Greenard. So it's not. I don't even think that's a fall off. It probably got better. For them. Giants got Burns. Burns to the Giants, breaking news. Just curious to see what the comp is. So anyone knows the comp there? I'm going to assume it's a second and a fifth for Burns. Carolina Panthers is a dumpster fire of an organization. Absolute terrible organization. A year ago, they could have got 2 firsts and a second, and they just give up a second and a fifth. Terrible organization. The Carolina Panthers is a dumpster fire, and that's a win for the New York Giants. They just got a stud young 25/26-year-old pass rusher for much less than what they're getting. Yes, Reeder is on the rumored list for our beloved Detroit Lions. Breaking news, Packers send a first and a third for Higgins. I haven't seen that yet. Don't know if it's true or not, but they did sign Josh Jacobs, running back from the Raiders. And, look, you're looking at what they're doing. Look at his head. It's bald. Yes, I'm bald, guys. I'm 38 years old. Crazy. A 38-year-old is losing hair. It's shocking, but it's true. Let's see. Xavier McKinney, too. Yeah, they did a good job. But again, they lost Kirk Cousins. They're not going to win the NFC North next year. They're going to have to draft a rookie quarterback for that football team. And fine with it. Lions fans for 40 years, what do you expect? The Jacobs pickup for Green Bay was a head smack move. Listen, Herbaldi, still sexy, brother. Appreciate you. Hey, I bring all the guys and girls want to watch, right? Let's see. Does anyone know that Detroit gave up for Davis? It was a third-round pick, and we got back, I think, a 5 and a 6. Big running back move today. Yes, a lot of backs. Saquon to Philly, Swift to Chicago, and Green Bay gets Josh Jacobs. So a lot of move there. I'd like to see us get Lattimore. I just don't see it happening now. I don't see it because we got our corner. I want to see the mock draft after free agency. I do too. And I'll do a mock draft probably a week after free agency. Because after a week, you know what you're going to get, right? You know exactly what you're going to get there. So then we'll do a mock draft there for sure. Have you seen Burns? Yes. She is very good looking, and she keeps walking past me, and it makes me not want to talk football. That's okay, because we're going to talk football because I'm at my lady's house. One this year and one next. We need to pick up Devin Hester-ish for a returner. The return's really not a big deal anymore after that stupid new rule with the kick returns. Is what it is. Folks, I've been on for about 23 minutes, and I'll get on again if the Detroit Lions make a move and make a video or just go live. That's what we're going to do for today because I've been on the radio and I don't have the time. So I will definitely do that with you guys. Smash that like button, and we will definitely get at it. So with that said, folks, adios.